This past year, I've made a lot of content where I complain about things. Now, instead of trying to find the joys in life, I decided to put all of my angry videos into one. You can study with it, do chores with it, take a shit with it, really whatever you want. Follow my Twitter and Twitch down below, and let's get into it. The art of looks maxing. Over the past little bit, looks maxing has seemingly exploded in popularity on the internet out of nowhere. It's seen most commonly on TikTok, you know, usually by kids who don't even know how to tie their shoes yet. Looks maxing consists of many different techniques in order to up the way that you look. Some of these simple things can be like going to the gym, you know, elevate your dress shirts, which, like, bro, who on earth is going to like Burger King and wearing a dress shirt? But hey man, you do you. Don't get me wrong though, I too enjoy the art of fashion. In fact, here are some of my outfits. I look like a homeless vampire. But then you also have other techniques, such as mewing. Some people have claimed that mewing can indeed reshape your face for a more defined and chiseled jawline, and can even help with breathing or orthodontic issues. Now, before we look any further into some of these looks maxing techniques, I think we first need to figure out exactly what is looks maxing. So for our first segment, let's look into it. What looks maxing is pretty much is a bunch of men or women who perform different techniques on themselves to make themselves more desirable. But you know, although women do it, for this video specifically, we're going to be focusing on men, the incels of looks maxing. Us, the professional gooners, the actual looks maxers. We are the real kings of looks maxing. It is because of us that, believe it or not, looks maxing has actually been a trend on the internet for a very long time, like since around the 2010s. Originally from a website by the name of lookism.net, which I went to go look for online because why not? And I then found out that it is on sale for $50,000 US. 50,000 bones to own the original lookism.net, the site of the origination of the Sigma male. I think that is the best deal ever. But it's only recently, due to TikTok and Instagram, that it's really suddenly had another resurgence and blown up into popularity, plaguing the younger generation's mind. And yeah, it's pretty much just insecure guys who blame the fact that they aren't attractive enough. They blame it on other people, so they gotta find a way to cope with it, and thus looks maxing was born. And this is where we are introduced to mogging. And what mogging is trying to make yourself more attractive than other people. The ones who are usually participating in looks maxing, you know, they can be normal people, like who are just following a simple skin routine, something of the sorts, and I guess that could be considered looks maxing, which is like, I didn't know that washing my face and taking care of my skin is considered looks maxing, but some people do consider it to be a part of the greater looks maxing vision. But mainly the ones who are participating are, you know them, you love them, the Sigma males. These are the types of guys that are constantly watching clips. You know, they're always telling everybody that you have to be better, or that they just think they're so much better than you just because they watch videos that are like, well, you were out partying, I was too busy getting rich. But also, I'm too good to flip burgers at a stupid McDonald's, so thus I am the Sigma. Shut up. They're the same guys that are watching American Psycho and thinking, oh, Patrick Bateman, I want to be just like him. No, you don't want to be like Patrick Bateman. That is the last person you should ever want to be like. But that is pretty much what looks maxing is. Just finding any means necessary to make yourself more desirable. Something I do like about looks maxing is it isn't really taken very seriously. There's a lot of people joking about it online, and that makes me happy. I think that it shows that people really do understand how ridiculous this can be. But enough about me yapping. I think now it's time to answer some questions. So, what are some of the different looks maxing techniques? And the first one we're going to be looking at is one of the ones you've probably heard of before, mewing. And you may be thinking to yourself, what is mewing? Well, mewing is a face reconstruction technique that involves keeping your tongue on the roof of your mouth to change your jawline shape. Mewing, I haven't tried before, but I found out about it in the weirdest way possible. I actually knew about it before it blew up in popularity. Now, back when I was a wee lad, I didn't have the best sense of style. Like, I was the dude that would be wearing a neon Under Armour shirt and, like, swimming shorts to school. Bro, I was a weirdo. So in order to fix this, I look online on how to improve your style. And it is there I find a post of someone saying, it's not your style that matters. It's your jawline and your facial structure. But lo and behold, the subreddit that I found my answer was in the most unexpected place. r/looksmaxing. And I did a little bit of digging throughout this subreddit, and it was exactly what I expected. People whining about why they aren't attractive enough or why people don't like them, blaming it on the better looking people in society, and doing anything they possibly can to look better. And I remember thinking, I don't think that's the reason people don't like you. Maybe just because you're an insufferable asshole. That could be why. Because all you do is whine. But yeah, that is my experience with mewing. People also chew gum, and that can be considered mewing. I remember seeing something that there's like a gum that people chew that's made out of like tree sap, but it runs you like $30 for a pack of like 10 pieces, so nah, I'm cool off that. Fashion is another thing that is extremely important in the looks maxing community. They always preach the fact that you really need to start dressing nicely, and you can't just go outside in sweatpants anymore. You have to be wearing a dress shirt. You have to always look like you're about to get knighted by Queen Elizabeth. Oh, sorry, Brit. You need to learn the art of mastering dress shirt colors, and you have to acquire your own palette. But I think fashion is to each their own. Although there are some wild fits out there, it's whatever you like the most. Next up on the list, we got pause. So is typically, for example, a haircut. You need to find a good haircut that suits you the best. And I'm not talking about, getting a lightning strike shaved into the side of your head. No, you look goofy with that. The kids in school who had that were always the most annoying. You gotta get a good haircut. Something else that is also important is knowing how to shower. I do not believe that I actually have to say this, but yes, showering, I guess, is considered looks maxing. It shouldn't be. This is just basic human knowledge. According to this website, there are 7 milestones in elevating your looks maxing journey. Number 1, dress with purpose. Number 2, the power of posture and presence. Like, bro, I know that some people are just reading this and feeling like, yeah, I'm gonna show the world. I'm gonna be the best there ever was. Like, you are not him. I do think that looks maxing can be a little bit of a good thing. It can boost people's confidence and boost them to be better. And I'm not at all doubting the fact that there are people out there like that. But there is also an overwhelming majority of people who are just absolutely toxic about this entire thing, who take it so seriously, and they do think that they are truly better than everybody else just because they are a pro mogger. That sounds horrible, and I never want to say that sentence aloud ever again. Looks maxing is weird, dreams are weird, and if you want to see a video about dreams, watch this. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all, and to all of my lovely subscribers.
Fuck on gang, cause I got change on. Hop up in that Spider Peter Parker, switching lanes on. I got sauce, I got hella bread like Racing Canes, huh? Made 100 bins and spent that shit all on a fucking chain.
Comment sections. Whether you're somebody who enjoys scrolling on the internet or just somebody who enjoys posting regularly, chances are you've come across a couple comment sections. Now, depending who you are, perhaps you decided to open up Pandora's box and take a little peek. Now, the types of comments you're going to encounter are totally dependent on what kind of platform you're on. For example, if you're on Facebook, the chances of you seeing wholesome and supportive comments are going to be far higher than if you were on on another platform, like, oh, I don't know, Instagram Reels. The types of comments that you see on Instagram Reels are some of the most heartless, vile, and downright criminal things I've ever seen on the internet. Like, bro, y'all Instagram Reel commenters better pray that the FBI isn't actually looking at everything you do on your phone. Like, bro, I'm telling you, if that isn't a myth, you might as well just get a new identity, because the feds are coming for you. Anyways, in today's video, we're going to be talking about comment sections not only on different platforms, but also the worst types of comments. Starting off with my favorite. Now, toxicity is very common on the internet, along with trolls. And if you ever want to know where to find these types of people, just go on TikTok and look at the comments there, or Instagram Reels. I promise you, within 5 minutes of opening one of those comment sections, you're gonna go from a nice smile to your mouth wide open. Pause. To your eyes being wide like you just saw a ghost in your closet. 50% of the time, you're gonna get like verbally harassed. It could be a post as sweet as a kitten running through a field of flowers. And then somebody will reply with,
"You better be oiled up in about 4 to 5 minutes, because I'm gonna be waiting outside your bedroom window."
Like, come on, bro. Give me a minute of peace here. Another thing that's pretty common is just people being dickheads. A comment that's pretty popular on TikTok is womp womp. An example of how this would be used is somebody could post a TikTok saying, "I just got evicted from my apartment. Now I'm going to be homeless."
Womp womp.
I see some really sad ones where someone says that their family member passed away, and these heartless people will comment womp womp. And don't get me wrong, under some of these videos or comments, there are tons of people being supportive and giving love, but that unfortunately doesn't erase the fact that there are still some absolute no-life losers who will decide it's funny to comment something like that. Or even worse, pack watch. Pack watch is something that I see so often on TikTok. It's unbelievable. It doesn't matter who it is or how it happened. A perfect example of this could be the Queen of England. When she kicked the bucket, you know, when she left the leaderboard and Buckingham Palace released their statement, 95% of those comments were all "rip bozo" or "smoking that England pack." Now, here's a little tip. If you come across any of these comments and they actually start to piss you off, never, and I mean never, reply to them. The best thing to do is simply ignore it by just closing the comment sections or just getting off the app, because the only thing that these trolls want is for you to engage. That is the entire reason that they comment these things. A lot of people will post rage bait comments. Rage bait is just people hoping to get attention from others by posting a comment that's intended to get others angry. And if you actually do reply, they're just going to keep trolling you over and over again, because that's exactly what they want, is the attention. I know how corny it sounds, but trust me, just be the bigger person and don't reply to it, or don't even give it the time of day. Man, I promise you, these trolls don't have a lot going for them. They clearly don't get enough attention in the real world, so they have to beg for attention online, even though it's all going to be negative attention. I think that tells you everything that you really need to know about them. Like, brother, you don't even have the balls to just be making outrageous posts, but you actually beg for it in comment sections? Get yourself a hobby or something. Get you some bands, and most importantly, get you some hoes. You don't always need internet validation. I'm begging you to do anything but be this guy. These types of people are horrible to deal with. Again, I know how hard it is sometimes to ignore them, but trust me on this, you never want to ever get into an argument with them. Because I'm telling you, bro, they can go for actual... It isn't even an argument, they're just yapping about nothing half the time. Now you may be thinking to yourself, dearest Nicholas, dearest Tokemon, you seem to be quite affected by these trolls. Have you perhaps had any personal experience? Yes, I have! I've experienced trolls way too many times. When I was younger, I didn't know that you weren't supposed to respond to them. So little naive 13-year-old me would just be constantly taking shit from these grown men online who have nothing better to do, arguing with them for days on end in a YouTube comment section. Let's go get that guy over there. Hey, you! Oh, are you talking to me? Yes, of course I'm talking to you. Oh, hello there. Are you tired of shitty energy drinks that are probably horrible for your health. Yeah, they give me kidney stones. It really hurts. That's really gross. But allow me to introduce you to Gamer Subs. It is a cheaper and a healthier alternative to energy drinks and soda, so that means no more kidney stones. How can that be possible, though? Well, I'm glad you asked. It's because it's 0 sugar, 0 carbs, less than 1 calorie, which then means that it's keto-friendly and diabetic safe. Well, you already got me hooked. Oh, you will be once you try it. Now shut up and let me finish. Let's say you're somebody like me who doesn't like to be caffeinated 100% of the time. Lucky for you, they also have a caffeine-free line just for you to enjoy the flavor. And they got some really good ones. My favorite currently being lean. Not only because it tastes fantastic, but also because it makes me feel like a SoundCloud rapper. If you use my link, you get 10% off your order. Come on! If you want to try it out, click the link in the description to get 10% off. Thank you to our good friends over at Gamer Subs. We love you. And now, back to the video. Bots. Bot comments have been crazy on YouTube and just on every single platform lately. On YouTube here, we have the Mr. Beast scam, where bots will comment something like,
"Anyone who likes this comment is going to be getting a brand new iPhone. All I need is your social security number, as well as your home address and banking information."
It's not just Mr. Beast commenters on YouTube, though. There is another one that's very popular on Twitter, and that is the OF scams. Bro, this is why I don't use Twitter, because every time I go in the comment section, all the replies are,
"Just make sure to click the link in my bio to see my pretty little..."
hey, I mean, like, what's the worst that can happen, eh? Let me just go ahead and click this link here. What? My computer has encountered a virus. My phone has been... My bank has been hacked. There's somebody at my front door. Guys, don't click these links. I'm begging you. It's a bad idea. The next types of comments are something that, bro, it's just actually starting to piss me off. Begging for likes. It doesn't matter what platform you're on. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, Visco. Who on this planet still uses Visco? To be fair, I never knew how to use it. You cannot escape these types of comments. Go into this comment section right now of this video. I promise you, you're going to see someone saying, "First." Something else that is so common to see is comments like,
"Only those who don't come from TikTok are allowed to like this comment, or you'll have bad luck."
Oh, yeah, totally, no problem, because the entire trajectory of my life is totally going to change just because Swagboy666 said so, right? And the thing is, I like some of these comments because I actually believe that something is going to happen if I don't. Like, okay, I know it's all a big load of crap, but there's that off chance that it isn't. Can you imagine if the one time I don't like these comments, something truly horrible does happen? I would be thinking about that for the rest of my life. Man, it's just a bunch of mind games, honestly. That's really all it is. Paragraphs. These comments are really annoying to see. There's a small chance that when you post something online, somebody is going to comment down below with an entire paragraph of information. Like, I'm talking an entire 2,000-word essay. Like, bro, what the fuck? This is a YouTube comment section. Do you truly think that the person who posted the video is going to look down and read your entire encyclopedia's worth of opinion and go, yes, perhaps his opinion is valid? Like, no, dude. Apple products. Apple is one of the largest companies in the world, being worth almost $3.5 trillion. Thankfully, Apple makes these products as well as several others for a really cheap price, is what I would say if they were not charging $25 for a polishing cloth, bro. For real? For the most part, Apple products are held to a relatively high standard, which, I mean, is expected because you're paying an insane amount of money for the majority of their products. Bro, I just bought a MacBook that's almost 4 years old, and yet I still paid over $1,000 for it. I feel like I need to clarify that I'm not just some salty Android user that always clowns on Apple for absolutely no reason. That is not me. I myself am an Apple user. I have a MacBook, I have an iPhone, I have AirPods. So I feel that I am well within my rights and I am well versed enough to actually complain about Apple for 8 minutes. But without further ado, run the intro. Oh my my goodness, don't even get me yapping about these prices, bro. Here on the internet, a lot of people like to drag and dogpile on top of Apple due to their extremely high price tags for products that you can just get from other sources. For starters, let's talk about the iPhone prices. When iPhone first came out in 2007, I kind of understand why it would be so expensive because, you know, it was one of the most innovative products at the time. But come on, Apple, you gotta let it go, bro. You can't hold that price tag. That was almost 20 years ago. Like, come on, bro. Tell me why the iPhone 16 Pro Max is over a band. With that money, I can buy a gaming PC. I can buy a used car. Like, come on, bro. Buying a brand new iPhone in today's day and age is insane. I have an iPhone 13 Pro Max that I bought for $400 off of Facebook Marketplace. Bro, I ain't paying full price for this thing. I feel it's necessary that we talk about other products that they've released, like the Apple Vision Pro, which, by the way, is just an objectively worse version of the Meta Quest. At launch, costed over $3,500. Why would you buy a VR headset that costs the same amount as a used Honda Civic when you can just buy a Meta Quest for literally 10% of the price? Now listen, I'm not somebody who wants to suck on Zuck. Yo, pause. But like, can we as a society just admit that the Apple Vision Pro was just a giant money laundering scheme? Because bro, it is well known that the quality of this product just sucked. The amount of times I would go on the subway in New York and see people wearing these Apple Vision Pro scuba goggle looking things, it's absolutely ridiculous. Also, little side tangent, if you're that rich that you can afford those things, bro, why on earth are you taking the subway? That smells like pee. Perhaps I am being a little unfair though. It's not like Apple doesn't have any good products. Like I did mention, I do really like my iPhone. I also have a MacBook. It's the M1 model or something. I use it to edit some videos, as well as AirPods. I have AirPod Pros and I have AirPod Maxes. AirPod Pros are ridiculously expensive and AirPod Maxes are almost $500, bro. If you think I paid full price for these, absolutely not. I was scrolling on Amazon one day and I saw that they were on sale for $200. That's over 50% off. If you're ever looking to buy AirPod Maxes, don't ever buy them at full price. It's not worth it. But if they're on sale for like the price that I found them at, 100% get them. They're really good. They do kind of look like alien UFOs on each of your ears though, so that's something that may drive you away from it. The AirPod Pros are also really good. In fact, this is the first pair of AirPods that I bought that weren't fake $20 ones from China. The quality of fake ones honestly were pretty good, but once I went to the real ones, you know, I couldn't go back to it. The sound quality really is that big of a difference. Anyways, I've ranted about the prices for long enough, so let's move on to something else. Like I just complained about, Apple's quite expensive. And about 10 years ago, yeah, that would be earned because every single new Apple product or iPhone that would release, something new would change. There would be a completely different upgrade that would boost it into the stratosphere. But nowadays, with the amount of, or rather lack thereof, changes we're getting, I still don't understand why they are releasing a new iPhone every single year like they do with Call of Duty. There is nothing that ever changes in between phone models. The world is not going to stop spinning if they skip out on one single iPhone release, bro. And come on, what changes do they even add? Oh, the camera positioning? Oh, thank God they changed the position of the iPhone camera because, man, if it weren't for that, I think North Korea would have just gone apeshit. Yeah, literally nobody is thinking that, except for maybe the diehard Apple bros on r/Apple. The way that these Redditors act when it comes to a new Apple release is ridiculous, especially when it comes to iPhones. It doesn't matter how minimal the changes, you can always count on these people to buy the new iPhone model. You remember Apple's $3.5 trillion worth? Yeah, 95% of it are these f***ing Redditors, bro. The iPhone is so slow when it comes to actual technical updates. When the iPhone 15 came out in 2022, that was the first model where they implemented USB-C charging. Hey, guess what? Literally every Every other phone started doing that like 7 years ago. Get with the program. The thing is, it's not that Apple didn't have the technology or the money to do so. No, they very well knew how to. They just want to keep people within their little bubble. And while we're already on this topic, I feel it's necessary to talk about the text bubbles. Oh my god, why are Android group chats green? Oh, I know why. Maybe because Apple's a selfish company who just wants people to feel left out in order to hope that they buy into their products. Yeah, that makes a little more sense, doesn't it? What has my personal experience with Apple been? Well, the first iPhone that I ever got was an iPhone SE. Up until this point, I had been with Android for my entire life, so this was my first time ever getting to know the Apple ecosystem and start using iOS. My thoughts were, I thought it was a pretty good phone. I liked it. I wasn't a big fan of how tiny the screen was. Bro, no joke, my index finger was larger than the screen of that phone. Eventually, I upgraded to the iPhone 6, and real quick, I feel like it's necessary to mention that the first two phones I had been given, the iPhone SE and the iPhone 6, were actually given to me by my uncle. So I wasn't paying any money on these devices because they were gifted to me. Let me tell you, man, I used that iPhone 6 like there was no tomorrow. I used it until it was practically unusable anymore. I remember I wasn't even able to charge it at one point because within 25 minutes, it would actually start burning my hand if I went to touch it. After this, I'm preparing to buy my first iPhone. I knew that they were expensive, but I didn't know an exact price range. I'm a 16-year-old, I just got my first retail job, so I go to my local T-Mobile expecting to drop no more than $300. Like, it can't be more than $300, right? $700. $700 for the base iPhone 11. For someone who was 16 at the time, that was an insane amount of money, and it still is. That's cheap compared to right now. Currently, the brand new base model of the iPhone 16 cost $800. I ended up financing my iPhone 11. It lasted me forever. I loved that phone. Unfortunately, I did break it like a month after my financing plan was over, so I ended up needing to buy a new one, which is the one I still have to this day, and it's the iPhone 13 Pro Max. I love this phone. I truly don't plan on getting rid of it anytime soon. I'm willing to bet this phone still has another 3-4 years of life left in it. It's really good. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed listening to me rant about Apple for a solid 8 minutes. I had a lot of fun making this video. Let me know if you want to hear something similar, like with Nintendo or something. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. And to all my lovely subscribers. Do you remember when you were younger and you watched cartoons in the morning? You had nothing to stress about. It was the weekend. You were eating your favorite bowl of cereal and you're happy. And then all of a sudden that one cartoon character decides it's a good idea to show up and ruin your mood. There were so many cartoon characters that I despised as a kid and I couldn't stand them. And even after all of these years, I have yet to have a differing opinion. I still dislike all of them. So let's start off with the first character, Caillou. I am not exaggerating when I say this, but I have actually yet to meet somebody who enjoys watching the misadventures of this little no-haired cretin. There's absolutely no way that you don't at least have somewhat of an idea of who Caillou is. I know for a fact you've seen him, whether that be accidentally or against your will. The reason I say that is because I refuse to believe that any sane person, even with the tiniest ounce of self-respect, would voluntarily subject themselves to this French-Canadian gremlin. Every time I was sitting down watching PBS Kids and it would announce that the next show was going to be Caillou, I would immediately just switch the channel to Cartoon Network. The reason being because I didn't even want to give Caillou even so little as a glance in his direction. Just his simple existence would make me mad. Caillou is notoriously known as one of the most annoying and hated cartoon characters like ever, and that is totally warranted. It is for good reason. Have you ever actually sat down and decided to watch an episode of Caillou? If you haven't, then oh my god, I wish my mind was as clean as yours. And if you have, then you must know why I'm so angry about this. Caillou is the biggest brat I have ever seen in television. Caillou will ask for something totally unreasonable, and then when his parents say no, he just throws a big fit. You know what his response is? Why are you crying? You can get as angry as you possibly can, Caillou. That does not mean that you're going to end up getting what you want. Oh, wait, it would seem I made a mistake here in my notes. Okay, no, never mind. Caillou ends up getting what he wants. His spineless parents always end up folding and giving Caillou whatever he wants, as long as he throws a tantrum. Caillou could ask his parents to take their car out on a joyride, and their response would be, "Oh, Caillou, of course you can." Like, bro, what? Now, I'm not gonna mention his appearance because I feel as if that's going a little bit too low, but I just can't help it. Caillou, why are you always rocking the exact same fit every single day, bro? Bro, and take a look at them paper thin eyebrows too. He looks like Lady Gaga back in 2010. He might as well just start singing. Whoa. Bro, look at his eyes, dude. His eyes be looking like Milhouse when he takes his glasses off. Look at that giant rotund bubble bum head, dude. Bro, this guy looks like Megamind but without the blue. Bro, why is he bald? This guy is bald at age 4. How has he not grown any hair? Oh ho ho, and don't think you can get away just because you speak French, because guess what, Caillou? So do I. Regardez à tes globes oculaires. Ils ressemblent comme des petits haricots noirs. Où sont tes cheveux, Caillou? Bro, you know what Caillou translates to in French? Pebble. His parents knowingly named him Pebble. That was so well needed. That has been in my system for the past 19 years. Okay. Moving on. Now, this next one, I'm not sure if many of you know about, but there was a show called Uncle Grandpa on a while ago. I can confirm that it would be a lot more fun just watching paint dry and twiddling your thumbs. It is the equivalent of eating unseasoned, unsweetened oatmeal every single day for years. It is just nothingness. But the only thing I did get out of it was there was this character named Pizza Steve, and I could not stand Pizza Steve. Pizza Steve just thought he was so cool because he wears stupid sunglasses and he's a piece of pizza. Believe it or not, I actually tried to watch Uncle Grandpa, and I watched a couple episodes, and every single time Pizza Steve would come on, I would, no joke, skip away from the episode because every appearance he would make was so unbelievably annoying, and it would make my blood boil to no end. He would always be doing the most idiotic things, but oh, I'm just getting away with it because I'm Pizza Steve, right? Bro, fuck you. I wouldn't even be willing to give him the satisfaction of fulfilling his main purpose, which is to be eaten. No, he's just going straight in the trash, Pizza Steve, and those stupid sunglasses. Again, a lot of you may totally disagree with me on this one, and that's okay, but you should also know that it's okay to be wrong sometimes. Alright, who do we got up next? Are there any other cartoon characters that can possibly top that? You. For those of you who don't know, this is DW. DW is Arthur's younger sister, and she is absolutely insufferable to witness. She tells on Arthur for absolutely every little tiny thing that he does, which always ends up getting poor little Arthur in trouble, who's just trying to enjoy his childhood. There was this one episode where Arthur eventually had enough of it, and he lashed out, and he hit DW. And honestly, good, she totally deserved it. She's an absolute brat. I remember there was this one episode of Arthur where they think the dog is about to pass away, and you know what DW's response is? Now we can get a good dog. Another time she broke Arthur's model plane, which he worked so hard on and told her multiple times not to touch it. I was actually trying to think of some positive things that she did in the show, and I couldn't really remember any, so I actually watched a couple episodes of Arthur to maybe see if I was wrong. And quick little update, no, I wasn't. I think her role is literally just to be the spoiled little kid. Now, the difference between Caillou and DW is Caillou didn't make me want to turn off the TV and walk away and actually go to a park or something. When I was watching TV and I noticed that it was a DW episode, I would just groan, maybe change the channel, maybe keep watching it. It wasn't detrimental or anything, except for this one episode called DW's Very Bad Mood. This episode is DW at her absolute worst. She is basically Caillou in this episode. She yells yells and rants at everybody around her. She's not doing anything that she's being told to do. Francine ends up actually inviting Arthur to a party, but Arthur is so exhausted by DW that he doesn't end up going. I do not recommend watching this episode. It will just put you in a bad mood for the rest of the day. Clarence was one of my favorite TV shows. I would watch Clarence almost every single day, as much as I could during the short time it was airing. Clarence was a TV show about a boy named Clarence and his two other friends, Sumo and Jeff, and they would go on different adventures together, running through the forest, going to play places, and just having general fun. And then there was Belson, and Belson was just a dickhead. Belson would for some reason just find joy in ruining whatever fun Clarence, Jeff, or Sumo were having at that time. There is this one episode where Clarence is trying to watch a certain TV show, and Belson literally tries to climb up on the roof to mess with Clarence's antenna so he can't watch the TV show. For what reason, you may be asking? That's where I tell you there is no reason, my friend. That's just Belson for you. There was another episode where Belson ends up going to the hospital and going in a full body cast, and this is finally where Clarence gets his revenge, and it was so satisfying to witness happen, because although Clarence may not be fully aware of it, he is completely torturing Belson. It is awesome. Crypto. Meme coins and many other cryptocurrencies have seen a sudden boost in popularity because of the internet. Now, the reputation for these coins are quite mixed. Every single day, people are putting hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars into these different cryptocurrencies, with some people finding a quick way to get rich off of it, while others end up dumping their entire life savings and losing absolutely everything. Essentially, it's just another form of gambling away your money, and with meme coins and crypto scams becoming more popular here online, I thought let's make a video talking about it. So yeah, let's get in. First, I feel it's really important to understand what exactly is cryptocurrency. Oh, come on, not again. It's basically a special kind of money that is only held on the internet. It's essentially digital money, and it's not officially made by a bank or a government. The most popular and well-known cryptocurrency, I'd say, is Bitcoin, which recently just hit a all-time $100,000 high. So many people have gotten rich off of Bitcoin because back in 2013, it was worth like practically nothing. You famously have the guy back in 2010 who bought 2 Papa John's pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin, which today would have been worth over $900 million. You also have that other guy who was begging people back in 2013 to buy just $1 worth of Bitcoin. He's now also a multi-millionaire because of it. I also have personal experience with Bitcoin, guys. Maybe like a year ago, I put $50 in it, and that's turned to like 120. So I guess you could say that I too am that of a crypto bro. With the rise of Bitcoin over the past decade, that prompted other creators to make their own version of cryptocurrencies. One of the most popular or first pioneers of meme coins was Dogecoin. I don't really know much about Dogecoin. All I know is it was started as a joke by 2 people, and eventually everybody's favorite politician, billionaire, wannabe funny person, Elon Musk, got involved and is like one of the top investors. It is his absolute favorite. Any possible chance he can to mention Dogecoin, he will most certainly do it. Anyways, once Elon Musk got involved, it just lost all its charm. It's not that funny anymore. It wasn't really that funny in the first place, but now that Elon Musk is huge about it, it's just extra not funny. And well, ever since the explosion of Dogecoin, there have been many other meme coins. And with that, I feel like it's time to move on to the next section of the video. Following the immense success that was Dogecoin, you have so many other ones that have blown up since then. One that was super popular like a month ago was Peanut the Squirrel. People actually made hundreds of thousands of dollars because they invested money into this coin. Another super popular one is Chill Guy, which that meme came out, I want to say like 3 months ago, but it only recently started getting super popular, which then shot that coin immediately up into the stratosphere, making people insanely rich off of even just putting like $20 into it. Ever since that coin took off, you have other ones like, you know, Chill Girl, Chill Opium. I've seen a bunch of other chill iterations of the coin. Right now, one of the leading meme coins is Rismus. Yeah. From my understanding, meme coins is literally just what is trending at the time. It's currently December, which is the holiday season, but with Christmas being so close and Riz being popular, I guess that's just what caught people's attention. At the time of recording this video, Fortnite OG is set to come back in a few days, and I have seen so many crypto Fortnite coins. I can't believe that's actually a sentence that holds any value in today's day and age. Left and right, you have hundreds of meme coins. No, I would go as far as to say thousands of meme coins being created every single day in order to just make that quick little stack of money. And this, my friends, is where we really start talking about the fun stuff. Scams. Ever since we as mortal humans conceived the idea of currency, there has always been one thing that lurks along with it. Scammers. Crypto scams are absolutely nothing new. I'm positive that you've heard of them before. And one of the most common ways that people actually scam in crypto is what's called a rug pull. Essentially, a rug pull is when a bunch of people put money into this cryptocurrency and the creator of it just abandons it and takes all the money for themselves and just, there's no sugarcoating it. It's just scamming. This happens so much more than you would think. I'd say 80% of the cryptocurrencies you see are most likely going to be rug pull scams. Recently, a lot of people on TikTok have been gloating about the fact that they have been running cryptocurrencies, or they start their own meme coin and then they rug pull it and get a quick little 10 bands out of it. About a week ago from recording this, there was a situation where a 12-year-old boy made multiple different crypto coins and ended up rug pulling all of them. The first coin that he rug pulled was called Gen Z Quant, and he was live streaming when he did the rug pull. In the clip, this kid ends up rug pulling the coin and then goes, "Thanks for the 20 bandos," before ending the live stream. Now, instead of sitting there quietly relishing in his victory, he decided to make another coin called Sorry, and then he proceeds to rug pull this coin too. After this, he ended up making yet another coin called Lucy, which was actually named after his dog. After this third rug pull, people eventually got frustrated enough to where his family's home address and his family's information ended up being released to the public. Now, it is important to mention that it isn't just random people who are doing this with crypto coins. Believe it or not, some influencers are actually taking advantage of their audience, pressuring them to buy certain crypto coins that they created, and then rug pulling and taking all the profit for themselves. One of the most famous incidents of this happening is with Logan Paul's Crypto Zoo. Long story short, about $18 million was invested into it. If it weren't for this entire situation of him scamming people out of money, I am 100% certain he would make Prime a cryptocurrency. Something else that has happened a little bit more recently, specifically within the past few days, is Hawk Tuah coin. On December 4th at around 5 p.m., Haley Welch, Hawk Tuah girl, announced that her new cryptocurrency was live. Many people across the internet invested tens of thousands of dollars into Hawk Tuah token, and within a matter of 10 minutes, no, I'd go 10 seconds, everybody lost the majority of their money. One tweet reads, "Hi Haley Welch, my $35,000 that I purchased of Hawk Tuah coin is now worth $2,000 after 10 minutes of purchasing. I am a huge fan of Hawk Tuah coin, but you took my life savings. Why are you investing into this?" The Hawk Tuah girl definitely has made millions of dollars because of this, like generational wealth. After this, somebody made a new crypto coin called Straight to a Prison. And this is actually where I announced that I am launching my own crypto coin. That's a lie. Don't invest any money into crypto meme coins. It's all a scam. You're just going to end up losing more money than you make. I promise you. How do I know? Because I myself ended up getting rug pulled just a few days ago. Just for fun, I decided to take out $25 and just put them in different meme coins. And the amount of profit that I made was absolutely nothing. No joke. Within about 25 minutes, all that money was gone. With $25, I could have gone to Five Guys. I could have gone to McDonald's, but no, instead, I decided to invest it in meme coins. It is not worth it. I am telling you this right now. What I've essentially been able to gather from this is that meme coins, investing in them, it is just another form of gambling. You have no idea if the money is going to go up, if the money is going to go down. It's all by chance. You're essentially just relying on other people to buy the coin to make the value go up. You're praying that something like that is going to go
go in your favor. What is the difference between that and sports betting? Sports betting, you're putting money into, a football game, for example. You are relying on the fact that a certain team is going to win. I cannot stress enough. It is literally just a form of gambling. Meme coins are scams. Be careful. Sigma males. Over the past few years, you may have noticed that Sigma males have blown up in popularity. Whether it be trying to sell you an absolute scam of a course, which 95% of the time is going to set you back thousands of dollars, or just by simply telling you that you need to escape the matrix and do better than the rest of the bots in society. And the funny thing is, people actually buy into this stuff. Search up Tate on TikTok and you're going to be seeing nothing but glazing in the comment section.
In Tate, we trust. Tate talk or no talk?
I've been a Tate fan since day one.
At the sound of Tate, I come alive! It's not just Tate and his little leech of a brother Tristan, though. It's other creators, like this guy.
Why Sigma males are more attractive than alpha males. Stay tuned.
I wish I had the luxury to say that this is satire. Honestly, I think it's really corny, and I'm going to explain why in this video, because this is something I've wanted to talk about since I started this channel. But first, I think it's really important that we find out what exactly would define a Sigma male. For starters, there are two different definitions. The first one being a third-person definition, coming from people like me, a spectator almost. And the other one coming from the Sigma males themselves, the ways that they define themselves. And to show the stark contrast, I'm going to be reading both. So for the average person, for betas like you and me, a Sigma male would be described as the newest role that insufferable incels have latched onto as an end goal, similar to an alpha male, but instead of having sex. He is a sociopath who devotes his life to financial success and the grind, and sacrifices his life on the altar of capital. Probably wants to live in Dubai or something. This is the best definition I have seen. It encapsulates everything that you possibly need to know about self-obsessed Sigma males perfectly. But now, let's look at the definition that Sigma males use for themselves. Buckle up.
A Sigma male is a physically and mentally stable person who has no intentions of romance. He can dominate his enemies easily with his surprisingly high testosterone level.
Can you smell the insecurity through your screen? A lot of these alpha males seem to be really self-obsessed narcissists. That wasn't a Playboy Cardi reference, but I guess it could be. A lot of these Sigma males in reality are just insecure men online who just so happen to find each other. They may be insecure about the way that they look, the way that they dress, the lack of they get, but long story short, they don't have girlfriends and they don't have friends, period, really. So instead of looking at themselves in the mirror and wondering why they can't get a girlfriend, they choose to go on the internet and attack women for simply existing. I've looked into a lot of internet forums of people that share the same disgusting mindset, and it's actually really hard to read. These people go around in life thinking that they are owed something not only by women, but the world in general. These people love to talk good about themselves. They love to hype themselves up and say that they are the most handsome, intelligent, beautiful person on planet Earth. Now, when I was younger, I used to call myself Nicholas the Pure MLG Swag Genius. I was 9-10 years old when I did this, and I obviously did it as a joke. I don't think I was a genius, and I didn't have swag. Look at me. But my point being, I did it as a joke. These Sigma males calling themselves the greatest on Earth, that isn't a joke. I truly thought it was until I've actually looked online, and no, they truly believe this. Or at least it seems like they do. It's very weird, because on one side of the spectrum, you have some people who are so insecure about themselves that they don't even have anyone to put down, so they just blame other people. But then you also have another group that is so proud of themselves and think that they are so much better than everybody else that they look down on other people, expecting them to be on the same level as them. When, brother, nobody wants to stoop as down as you are. These people are so insufferable to deal with. Now, as evident, they aren't the most smart, which is exactly why they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on Sigma male courses. And that's the next segment. Roll it.
Now, Sigma male courses. A lot of these men don't know how to fix themselves. Something very common is courses. There is a course out there called the MDK Project. It is a 3-day alpha male boot camp which costs the light price of $10,000. Hello everybody, post-editing Nick here. I just went on the creator of the course's Instagram, Bedros Skulian, dickhead, and they raised the price from $10,000 to $18,000. Now, upon going on the MDKproject.com, I am greeted with big bold text. Your family deserves the best version of you as a leader, husband, and father, with a video embedded below saying, watch this video and discover your purpose. Guys, I think it's time I truly discover my purpose. I'll see you on the other side, Sigmas. Wow, that was really hard to watch. It seems that this entire Sigma course is just getting yelled at by a sweaty, shirtless, bald man doing push-ups on a beach somewhere north of Los Angeles, as well as lots and lots of ice baths, which is something you can do for a cost of nothing. Do push-ups in your backyard. Go piss off a family member to get yelled at. And for the ice bath, just take a cold shower, man. But hey, let's see what the course is really like.
Shut up! One more word, you're gone. I'm not around. Shut up! Stop rolling your eyes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I expected. It's both evil and kind of smart. These people are just taking advantage of insecure men. I just don't understand the mindset of paying to get belittled. As if getting yelled at by somebody is going to change anything at all when it's not. I don't know if it's motivation or something. But this isn't the only Alpha Sigma male course out there. There are tons of others. One of the most infamous being Andrew Tate's Hustlers University, which was just a pyramid scheme. A scam, pretty much. How it worked is you would get money for recruiting people to the course, and then the people you recruited would get money for recruiting others to the course. It essentially just made the owner, who was Andrew Tate, a lot richer. Now, I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole of who he is and why he's awful because I don't really want to get demonetized, but he preached many different things, like escaping the Matrix. This is a huge thing that is very popular among all Sigma males across all platforms. Now, most normal people would think, The Matrix, I love that movie. And I'm here to ruin your day and say it's completely different. Escaping the Matrix involves freeing oneself from the constraints that impede personal growth and self-fulfillment, breaking the chains. Perhaps a journey in embracing your self-discovery. For many who follow Sigma male leaders, the idea of escaping the Matrix would be seeing the world as it really is and achieving success and money from doing so. Basically saying that you're never going to work a normal job, but at the same time on people who do work at a normal job. For example, McDonald's. Most of these customer service workers are just teenagers trying to make some money, and yet you have these assholes just trying to shit on them. The funny thing is that a lot of these Sigma males who are making fun of and looking down on service workers, they're just living completely rent-free in their parents' basement. They ain't helping pay no bills. They ain't buying no groceries. They're doing nothing. If they are doing anything, they're probably recording one of those garbage Sigma male podcasts. Some of these podcasts are really hard to watch. They will just sit down and talk about absolutely nothing.
Guys can cheat but still be in love with their girl. Girls can't cheat and still be in love with their man.
Okay, I'm no love guru, but what I do know is that being in love means having respect. And if you cheat on someone, that clearly is not respect. But let's hear what the other guy has to say.
Because it's easier for a woman to get dick and it's harder for a man to
not
get
It's getting emotional attached, bro.
Because it's easier to... Brother, what are you yapping about? It baffles me that certain people look up to others like this, and they look up to many others, like Patrick Bateman. For some reason, a big idol or someone they look up to in the Sigma male community is Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. The fact that they look up to Patrick Bateman has never made a little bit of sense to me, like, at all. I'm genuinely curious if these Sigma males have even watched the movie in the first place, because if they did, you know how psychotic it is to look up to someone like him, right? The funny thing is that this entire movie was satire. I mean, when you go online and search up American Psycho, it is literally labeled as horror comedy. Yeah, I bet all the Sigma males are completely distraught right now. If you go on TikTok right now, I promise you, you will see constant edits of Patrick Bateman with Sigma male music in the background. It will make no sense to me ever how these people can take themselves seriously. After looking into all of this, I think it's now time for a conclusion. What have we gathered? What did we learn about these people? These horrible people? In conclusion, a lot of Sigma males are just insecure. I don't think there's any other way around it. It's very evident. I mean, we looked earlier. People are literally willing to pay money to get yelled at, hoping that it'll fix something. Anyways, with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you want to hear more, let me know down below. Thank you guys so much. And to all of my lovely subscribers. First I go whip on the boat. No, I can't hit on no brakes. My life is out of control. I'm telling you, nobody is safe. I've been living my life in boat. My ice came with a tray. Got hot so hard about. I'm an emo thing on my face. Sir. Content farms. While here on YouTube, you enjoy watching creators. Now, depending on who said YouTuber is, they may not post as often as you wish they could. Or sometimes you wish that they would post significantly less. Solely for the reason that their content sucks. It's, well, it's certainly original. Ain't nobody gonna be copying you to do this, that's for sure. And I am once again disappointed by the existence of human beings. But what happens when you take this content and post 5 times a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year? You are met with what is called a content farm. Why? Well, because it gets a lot of views, that's why. The more views you get equals the more people who watch advertisements on your videos, which then in turn gives you more money. And speaking of which, did you guys get an ad there? If you didn't, well, this is awkward. And that is what matters most to content farms. We're going to be talking about what a content farm is, the different types of content farms, as well as just my general opinion on it. So, let's get into it. What exactly is a content farm? Now, when you look it up online, a content farm is a channel on YouTube or any other popular website that only exists to spam content out that makes them money. How people do this usually is they will hire an insane amount of editors. Like, they will gather an entire army's worth. Man, I wouldn't be surprised if they have them editing in an office building, Mr. Beast style. A lot of these content farms produce brain rot, and I'm not calling it that because I'm not a big fan of it. I'm calling it that because that's exactly what it is. Bright colors, loud noises, fast editing, easily digestible garbage. I understand that's a lot coming from somebody like me, the tier list guy, but I don't care if the world turns its back on me and suddenly starts defending this. I will stand on this hill all alone if I have to for the rest of eternity, as long as it means standing up to this type of content and calling it out for being the garbage that it is. One of the most popular short form content farms here on YouTube is a channel called LankyBox. At the time of recording, LankyBox has a whopping 38.4 million subscribers, and if that wasn't enough, they have 11,000 videos. Upon looking at their channel, yes, this is exactly what a content farm is. They post multiple times a day, and their content lacks a severe amount of substance. Yeah, upon watching that for more than 3 seconds, I would not be surprised if someone just heeled over and had a seizure on the ground. And the thing is, this channel does phenomenal for views. Posting multiple times per day and gaining anywhere from 80 to almost 300,000 views per video, these guys must be the Scrooge McDuck of YouTube. And if you take a look at their thumbnails, oh god. It's like they just went into Photoshop and turned contrast and saturation all the way up to 100. Now, I'm not a dick, so I'm not going to say it's just Lankybox. It's other people too. Another popular one is Max Design Pro. It looks to be an animation channel with nearly 10 million subscribers. But you know, if we mosey on over here and we take a look at the content, you will see, yeah, it's pretty much the exact same thing as Lankybox. The only difference really being how much they upload and the fact that it's 2D animation instead of 3D. Max Design Pro seems to love this chicken nugget a little bit more than he loves the money itself, because bro, this chicken nugget is in nearly every single one of his shorts. It's always the same thing too. It's the chicken nugget, and then something happens, and you need to like the video in order to save the chicken nugget from a certain demise. Brother, I guarantee no one would give a single flying hill hickory fuck if the chicken nugget ended up getting hit by a car. Another YouTuber that could be considered a content farm is Kwebbelkop. As some of you may know, Kwebbelkop did a switch from real content, which wasn't good, mind you, but at least it was human. But he switched to AI-generated garbage. Like, actually AI-generated. He would use an AI model of himself, not only for his character, but also for his voice, which would do all the work for him. So he literally would just sit back, kick his feet up, and he would generate hundreds of thousands of views. Eventually, everybody clowned him for this because, let's be honest, it's a really stupid idea, and people are obviously going to see through it. So he ditched the entire AI model thing, and he's now uploading every few days. The content is still pretty bad, and it seems that the only thing that he is using AI for is thumbnails. I mean, take a look at this. Weakest to strongest Hulk in GTA 5. What is this art? Now, I'm going to get one thing straight. The people watching this type of content aren't bad. Yes, I will say it. iPad kids are really annoying, especially the types of comments they leave on videos.
Did you know that double tapping this comment will actually like it?
And yes, the content they watch is horrible. It is so bad. There's nothing that these iPad kids can say that is going to be able to defend this type of content. Now, to all of my fellow Gen Zers who may be watching this, I hate to break it to you, but the content that we watched wasn't that much better. MLG videos, those Minecraft school shorts, that Roblox The Last Bacon Hair thing. Okay, that made me cry. When you mention any of these things, it's like a Vietnam War flashback. I just immediately think back to how many hours I would spend sitting on my couch watching these on my Amazon Fire tablet. MLG clips was, I think, one of the first brain rot things I remember ever seeing. You had the green screen in the back, you had loud noises, the air horns, Doritos, Mountain Dew, snipers, those stupid little pixelated sunglasses. Another popular creator was Exploding TNT. He was the original AI brain rot, I'm pretty sure. He would have an AI voice in the background and a pink sheep, and it would just, yeah, be bright colors, but in Minecraft. Back then, Minecraft content farms is what Roblox content farms are today. Okay, this is going to sound really dumb, so hear me out on this, but I think it's kind of sad. Specifically, looking at Kwebbelkop, who we talked about earlier, when you go back on his content, sure, it wasn't the most transformative, it was nothing special, but all that aside, you can still tell that a human made it, and the videos are relatively cool. He's just doing his own thing, really. But the more that you scroll down, all you have to do is look at the thumbnails and tell when the shift started to happen. And listen, that's no problem. Money's sick, dude. But the content just takes such a nosedive to the point where you're shameless enough just to say, yeah, I'm going to let AI generate all my comment. Like, bro, come on. What's the point of making content if it's not you doing anything? That is the reason why people tune into you. That's the reason that people tune into me, because it is a real person behind the screen just conveying their opinions or telling stories, really whatever. And that's what I think makes this website, YouTube, so beautiful. People all around the world are able to make these creations and put it out to the world for others to see and enjoy. And that is why I love YouTube so much. If you guys want to watch something similar, check out my video on brain rot. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching, and to all of my wonderful non-AI subscribers. Apple versus Android. This is one of the most heated debates I think I've seen on the internet. Both sides are almost constantly arguing with each other. Like, the second that they see the opportunity
opportunity to talk bad about one another, they're 100% going to go for it. And much like my last video on console wars, the same rule applies here. Both items do the same thing. It really just comes to personal preference, but a lot of people can't sit right with that fact that it's all personal preference. I promise you right now, if you go to any tech subreddit and mention the fact that you like iPhone better than Android, oh, you are 100% going to regret that, because for the next 2 weeks, these people are not going to stop pestering you and making fun of you for being inept about your technology. They're out here talking about the technical specs of everything, and by the time you realize the can of worms that you've opened, yeah, there's no closing it back up. Because now they're out here talking about the inner electromagnetic functions of an Android phone. Like, yo, dude, I just want something that can let me watch YouTube. That being said, though, Apple users are just as bad. Dude, I'm convinced 99% of Apple users just think that they're better than everybody else who walks on this planet. Like, when you start a conversation with somebody who's an Apple user and they find out that you're an Android, yeah, there's a big chance you're gonna just end up getting blocked. The members of the iPhone Society could never put up with such plebeians who own an Android phone. Like, yo, dude, they literally do the exact same thing. As long as they can text and call my friends, I don't care. Oh, but don't you ever tell that to an Apple user, because you know what? If you don't have an iPhone, for some reason, they just think that you're poor and have no money, which just isn't true. Now, when I was younger, I didn't have a phone until I was a teenager, so my first mobile device was an Android, and that device was a tablet. I remember when I first got a tablet, I was so excited because I was finally able to play mobile games, you know, things like Angry Birds, Temple Run, My Singing Monsters, Clash of Clans. I could play pretty much all of it. It was just so mind-boggling to me that I could search up literally anything I wanted, all at my fingertips. I could explore throughout the entire world if I really wanted to, from my bed, in pajama pants that is. And although I did get a lot of positive things out of it, a big one being watching YouTubers from pretty much wherever I wanted in the house instead of only being able to sit down in front of the TV. But it was not all positives, because there's a lot of weird shit on the internet. Shit that I was most definitely too young to see, and I bet I'm not alone when it comes to that sentiment. I feel like a lot of other people share the same feelings about that. But then on one gloomy, rainy Sunday morning, I don't know if it was actually Sunday, my tablet broke. I remember getting up one day and going to turn it on, and it just didn't turn on. It wouldn't charge. It wouldn't work. It just seemed to fully die on me, and I was devastated. Luckily, I ended up breaking it around December, and that Christmas, I ended up getting a new tablet from my uncle. Now, coming this time around, I didn't end up getting no Acer tablet. Oh, no, you imbecile. You truly think I would get Acer twice? No. I got an Amazon Fire tablet, and this thing was, Dude, this thing was so much better than the Acer. I don't know if it's just the fact that I hadn't had a tablet in a whopping 2.5 weeks, so my memory was almost foggy just wanting to get my hands on an electronic device again. But no, this thing was really good. I remember the image specifically looked so much clearer. When I was watching YouTube videos, the speakers just sounded a lot better. The screen was also bigger, and it was so much faster. This thing ran like a computer. Okay, now that I have a real computer, maybe I think otherwise, but still, it was really good. Eventually, I grew up, and I ended up getting a phone, and it was my dad's old phone. So I was around 12, 13 at this point, and my first phone was a Motorola Moto G4 Play. Hey, shout out that phone. That thing was awesome. I went to school with it. I was able to send Snapchats to my crush with it. I felt like I was on top of the world. And then, you know, I eventually asked for her number, and then you know what happened next. She never spoke to me again because my text bubbles were green. I upgraded even further to a Google Pixel 1. It was, again, my dad's old phone. And, you know, I loved using this Google Pixel. It had an orange case with the Android guy on the back. I'm probably putting a picture up on screen right now. But hey, bro, when I pulled up to school with that phone case, you know, everybody was complimenting me. Nobody was. They called me a loser who had an Android phone. But moral of the story is I wasn't afraid to be who I truly was, and neither should you. That was so cringe. And that is where my Android journey ends. I did eventually fall to societal pressure and end up getting an iPhone. It sounds so stupid, but I didn't really switch to iPhone because I wanted to. I just switched to it because everybody was telling me to, and because I thought it would make me fit in better. At this point, I was was like 14. So, you know, this is when your emotions are all over the place and anything that anybody says for some reason really sticks to you. And instead of taking my dad's old phone, which would have been a Google Pixel 3, I ended up downgrading to an iPhone SE, which the screen was significantly smaller, the battery itself was significantly worse, and there's no longer Google, only this compass thing. Bro, where is Google? Just let me look something up. Now, before I talk about my iPhone expeditions, what did I think about Android? I'm going to be honest, dude, I loved Android, and I still do to this day. People are right. It does have a lot more customizability. Is that even a word? Yeah, customizability. When you buy an Android phone, or you have one in your possession, or an Android device for that matter, it very much feels like it's yours and you can do really whatever you want with it, and there's very little drawback or limits to what you're allowed to do. You want to go online and find a way to download Fortnite on your Android phone? Go ahead, you have the freedom to do so. But on iPhone, you gotta actually jailbreak it and go through a bunch of these other hoops. Android also had a built-in antivirus, which made me feel like I could click any link without consequence. Guys, don't have that mindset. It's a horrible decision. But Android did also have some cons, like the camera quality. Why is every single camera on Android horrible? Bro, especially on Snapchat. Have you any idea the amount of pain of when my crush would send me a picture and then I would be all excited to reply back and it would send in like 360p? Like, bro, she would think I was straight up on the moon or something. It got me so angry all the time. And bro, everyone would make fun of me for it too. Honestly, let's be realistic here. I can't really blame anybody because, for real, my camera looked like I was taking a picture with a microwave. Now, my first Android was an iPhone SE. Not like the new one, like the first one, the tiny one. And bro, if iPhone 7 at the time was considered ancient, just take a look at my thing that was the size of an iPhone 5. The big upgrade was the iPhone 6. So I used the iPhone 6 for about 2 years, and when I was about 15, I got my first job, which then gave me my first money to actually buy a phone plan. And the first phone that I bought was an iPhone 11. I took care of this baby like no tomorrow. I loved my iPhone 11. I went from jumping to something that was used basically in the prehistoric period to a relatively new phone. I had my iPhone 11 for just a little bit under 2 years. Now, notice how I'm using past tense. I dropped my iPhone 11 and it landed on the concrete, and then it just suddenly turned off, and it has never turned on again. And with my iPhone 11 went all my pictures and a bunch of other things. So then I was phoneless for a little bit, and about 2 months later I ended up getting the phone that I have today, which is an iPhone 13 Pro Max. I got it off Facebook Marketplace for really cheap. I paid around $500 US for it. Bro, this thing was practically brand new. So what do I think of Apple? I'm honestly a big fan of Apple. I love the iOS interface. I love the feelings of the phone. They just feel a lot more premium than Android. Android just has that cheap feel. I don't know how to explain it. My text bubbles aren't green anymore. The screens and speaker to me are a lot better than Android. And the camera quality. Don't even get me started on the camera quality. It's amazing. I also love Face ID. I don't think that was a thing on Android, at least at the time. But the cons. Let's look at the cons of Apple. Why is this so expensive? Good God. Brother, 2 bands for a phone? And then when you drop it on the floor, it's gonna shatter into a million pieces? And then if you want to get it replaced, it's gonna cost you like another $400? Like, bro, what the hell? Dude, there's like no winning with Apple. No matter what, you're always going to have to pay a ludicrous amount of money. Ludicrous? Good God. Now, honestly, I think in the future, I'm going to stick with Apple just because I'm already too deep into it. I'm going to be honest, I was thinking of switching to Android, but then I got AirPod Maxes and AirPod Pros, and at this point, I'm already too far deep in, and I really like the quality of Apple products too. They feel premium. But at the end of the day, it is totally up to you. It is personal preference and whatever you prefer. Don't bully others for what they want to choose. That's stupid. Anyways, that's pretty much all I have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Comment whether you're Apple or Android. Thank you guys, and love you all so much. Yep. See ya. Bye. Not the best idea. His new girlfriend's next. How'd I get here? I still love him though. I forgot the rest of the words actually.